trading has never been easier than it is right now for beginners. And that's because for the longest time, the reason beginners couldn't get started is because of a lack of capital. It had nothing to do with their edge, with their skill set, or their ability to read the markets. It was about their ability to actually expose their edge to multiple scenarios time and time again. So now you can survive in the markets, you can play the game with absolutely no capital. In fact, this month I plan to pull out 5K at least out of these prop firms without risking any more than 100 or 200 bucks of my own capital. And people are like, how do you plan to do that? What are you talking about? You have to make money, you have to, put money up, right? That's the way this game works. It's not that way anymore, guys. That's because there's these thing called prop firms, right? And what I want you to know is you're probably sitting here thinking, these prop firms are complicated as shit, right? There's a fucking list of rules that I have to get familiar with and apply just to pass the eval. Just to pass the eval, we're not even talking about applying for a damn payout at this point, right? So you're thinking, what do I need to do to pass an eval, to get funded, and then to actually pull money out of these prop firms? It's not as hard as a lot of people make it, guys. So first off, you've got to start with your demo account, okay? You don't just jump straight into a $50,000, $100,000 funded account and just take the money out and go spend it on a new AMG. It doesn't work that way. So first you have to start with a demo account. And this is your evaluation phase. Okay, the prop firm is going to take you. They're going to look at your system. They're going to look at your strategy and break you down as a trader. Okay, are you disciplined? Do you have a systematic way of entering and exiting the market? Okay, are you, just betting lottery bets on, FOMC data prints and stuff like that? So we're going to shift our mindset to discipline and patience. And we're going to operate like a business, guys. This is your business. You're not going to get rich in this phase, but what you are going to do is build that strategy, that structure that it takes to be a consistent trader. And at the same time, you're going to take these steps to pass your eval, get funded with a little bit of skin in the game, okay? You're going to get this 50K Tradeovate account. It's not going to cost you any more than 30, 40 bucks, guys. Apex is constantly running these accounts. I know it'll say here, 50K full, 197 a month. They're always running discount codes. Just type in the discount code future and you'll knock 80 or 90% off. So you're not paying any more than 40 or 35 bucks for a 50K account. And the way you're going to, the rules of this 50K account is your goal is to hit 3K in profit without drawing down the account more than 2,500. Okay, so we start at 50K. Our goal is to get to 53K without drawing that count below 57,500. Again, it's going to cost you 35 or 40 bucks. Now the rules, you can't just pass it in one trade. You can't just come into FOMC and, long one account and short the other. You're going to have to follow a couple rules here on the 50K. The first is your 30% consistency rule, which means no profit days above that $900. Okay, again, we need 7 days of trading results here. We need 7 days of losses or wins. And we can't have any of those 1 days be outliers, be massive wins while the others are coming in and, not that impressive. And again, that shouldn't be a problem if you're trading with a simple 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 risk to reward, and you're cutting your losers while at the same time cutting your winners to a certain point. No holding trades overnight. This is not a swing trade account. This is a day trade, preferably a scalping type of account. And again, we're being evaluated as a trader here. Is this somebody that we want to lend live money? Can they make us money? Okay, because at the end of the day, when you're trading for a prop firm, if you do end up getting payouts, you're getting 90% of the payout, but the prop firm's getting 10%. So is this somebody that we want to put some money behind and potentially take 10% of what this guy can do for us? All right, we're after that 90%. That 90% can be pretty healthy. In fact, that can be a stream of income for you. Okay, so we're getting there. Here's how you get there. Once you pass that eval account, you hit the 30% consistency rule. You run that account up to 53K. Boom, you're funded. You've got a live account. Starts at 50K all the way over from scratch. Now your job is to unlock payouts, okay? Your drawdown is the same, $2,500. You can't let that account draw down. Now keep in mind this is a trailing drawdown, okay? What I mean by that, let's say day one you take $1,000 trade. You run that account from 50 up to 51. Well, it's a trailing drawdown, which means your max loss is not 57,500 anymore. It goes up the $1,000 that you're in the green. So it goes up to 58,500. Okay? It's a trailing drawdown, very important. You're always going off of your account balance, the highest number in your account balance. We've still got that same $3,000 profit target, which means our goal here is to get to 53K. Okay? And we're following a different type of profit goal in this account, okay? We've got 5 profit days of at least $50. There's no max 30% rule or account, rule that we have to abide by. But we do have to trade for a minimum of 8 days before we can get a payout or request a payout. And 5 of those days have to be at least a $50 profit. Now, when it's time to request a payout, we are going to be aiming for what's called our safety net. That's just what Apex calls it. Different accounts, different prop firms will call this a different thing. Apex calls it a safety net. And your safety net stops your trailing drawdown, is what it does. So now no longer do I need to be looking at that highest number in my account. Because when I hit that safety net, my trailing drawdown, it's over. It puts an end to it. Now, what is the safety net? The safety net is your max drawdown plus $100. Max drawdown is, $2,500, which means our safety net's going to be a profit goal of $2,600. Once we run that account from 50 up to 52,600, we can request our first payout. We can request at least $500 at this point. Okay, which will take that money out of our account and take us back down to just $2,100 profit in the account. Think about it. If we went from 50K up to 52,600 and we took 500 out, now we're back up to 52,100. And we've still got our same trailing drawdown. If we go back below the trailing drawdown of 2,500, that account's done for. Okay? That's not how I'm going to approach it. I want to milk these accounts. I want to not request a payout until I can pull at least 2K out of the account, which means I have to go farther over the safety net because I can withdraw more by going over my safety net. And if I want a payout of $2,000, what I'm going to have to do here is take that safety net of 52,600 and I'm going to have to add the 2,000 payout that I want to receive on it, which, as you guys know, is simple math. That means a $54,600 is what I'm looking to run that account up to. How am I going to do it? Well, first of all, I have to trade for 8 days. I have to have 5 profit days that are at least $50 in the green. And other than that, I'm going to just simply take 4-to-1 risk to reward and take a chunk of my profit at the internal liquidity where I'll take my partials. Just like this right here. You guys, I don't know if you saw the trade that we took today on NQ, but it's a great start. We actually traded micro NQs on the live account. Okay, my whole strategy revolves around liquidity sweeps and liquidity to target. You guys, you'll be able to make consistent money when you learn to read liquidity. Like come into the market like this and just be able to see, hey, this is lowering range liquidity. There's a lot of stops that are piling up above here, here. There's a lot of people that are going short of the market and they're saying, hey, if price breaks above this trend line, I'll get stopped out. Well, big money, hedge funds, large money managers, they see that, and that's a great opportunity for them to go in and liquidate their position and use their stop orders as essentially an easy way to go in and get exchanged for their money in the market. If a large money manager buys here, he has to think, man, how can I get out of this? And how can I turn my paper profits into realized profits? without tanking the market when I sell. Well, what he's going to do is look for unfilled orders in the market, stop losses that he can run, he can exit his position and get out. And that's exactly what you saw today, and that's how I enter my trades. We swept liquidity here on NQ, dip below this low right here. We put in a strong recovery up above this fair value gap. And essentially, I'm looking for a run to take out these highs. It's exactly what we got. You can place a 3-to-1 risk to return. Take these type of trades all day in these funded accounts. And always make sure to lock in your partials, right? Because if you don't lock in partials and you carry the whole position up here, well, what that's doing is that's affecting the bottom line of your account. Okay, we want to take base hits. If you start hitting these home runs, it puts more pressure on you with that trailing drawdown. So that's it, guys. That's how we plan to make money through funded accounts while risking very limited amount of actual funds. But at the same time, get exposure into the systems, get exposure into the market with that feeling of live money being on the line. That's it, guys. If you want to, learn my strategies and how I day trade this inverse fair value gap and liquidity model, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to join my Discord for live streams, just keep an eye for some of the videos that I'll pop up here. I plan to start going live on YouTube at least once a week, just to show you guys, what I'm looking for on these funded accounts, because it's a great opportunity for everybody to come in here. Beginner, expert, experienced trader. Funded accounts, they provide legit opportunity, and I advise you guys to take advantage of it while you can.